Going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again with another video for Summoners War. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today, I just wanted to recap the recent event, the SWC 2018 World Finals that just went down this weekend in Seoul, Korea. I had the opportunity to represent one of the Summoners War influencers that was able to come on over, and I have to say, out of all the events that I have attended over the past 2 years, this one was by far the best one. Now, if you guys don't know who OGN is, they are the biggest network when it comes to Seoul, Korea, as far as the video gaming network here. So they essentially do this for a living. They're all about creating an environment and atmosphere that just makes it so much more enjoyable for the community that does have a passion for these video games here. So we got a chance to check it out firsthand. And again, by far the production value from start to finish. Of course, if you guys saw the video or the streams, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was top notch. It was second to none. And I cannot wait to see if the ComToUs decides to work with them yet again, because I feel like this was by far the best event that they've had. So basically what we did, they brought us essentially all of the players, the commentators, the influencers. They brought them all out a couple hours before we went down there, or before the event got started here. So we got a chance to see all the different activations. Again, there's going to be a lot of our Summoners War influencer community that's going to be showcasing some of the footage. I'll probably try to add some here in this video as well, as far as what, all the stuff that went down. So similar to like the America's Cup, they had like an area that was set up with different types of activations to take advantage of. And it was really, really fun. I had a blast. They had, out of all the activations that you got to do, once you collected them all, once you did them all, you were able to essentially obtain some, they give you some free gifts, once you do all the different activations at the various locations. Now, they actually had, some of the things that they had going on there was they had an area that showcased all of the players' information, some of the background on them, so you guys can learn a little bit about them, their units, their favorite units and whatnot. Just a lot of little details that kind of get you more in tune with the players, so you can kind of get a feel for their play style and, of course, their personality. They also had this super cool event where it was like an augmented reality, like an AR reality kind of thing, where you stand in front of this picture and you essentially press this button that allows you to summon. And then they have a screen on the side where it will essentially do a light and dark summon. And it could be a regular, 3-star, 4-star, whatever, or 5-star. And if you were able to get the lightning and get like a 4-star higher, then you got a snapshot, and you got essentially a better reward. So it was super cool because, as you guys might have guessed, we were down there, we got a chance to check it out, and we saw some people pull Artemils and Zeratus, but of course, when I decided to record it and try to get some people, we got a couple of light and dark nat 4s that we saw. But the minute that I turned it off, it was basically I turn away, walk away, and then someone pulled the LNE nat 5, and everyone would be like, "Whoa!" And everyone would go crazy. I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me, man! Like, why do I always miss the premium content?" The YouTube struggle is the truth here. So, but that was super cool. I didn't get a chance to do that one. The one that I did get a chance to do, which was probably the funnest one out of them all, was they had this dice game where they had 2 big dices, and you essentially went up against another opponent, and it was 6-sided dice, 5 different elements, and then the World Arena badge. So basically, it's an elemental advantage game. You would roll the dice versus your opponent, and you would basically, whoever had the elemental advantage was the one that won. Or if you had a neutral element versus like a light and dark element, they gave you the edge on that. But if you had the World Arena badge, that was like the trump card or the wild card, right? That would beat any element, and essentially your reward was dependent upon how many times RNG would be in your favor. And I believe if you won 4 times, 4 times in a row, you basically got that big, Super Angelmon plushie that you guys have seen with a couple of influencers and seen in some pictures and whatnot. So it was really, really amazing. That was probably one of the more popular events out there. And so, I mean, just without a doubt, everything that was going on at that specific event was super cool. They set it up to where, you got to take part in it. And, once the actual matches got started at 12, then, they would, go ahead and stop the different events so that you guys can go ahead and check out the gameplay when it goes around. So that was really cool. The morning was a super big blast. I got a chance to meet a lot of people. There was even some people that you would think being for the Korean community, there was maybe not a lot of people watching us influencers, but honestly, I could not believe the amount of support that the community had given us, and it was super cool because we had a chance to walk around. People were recognizing Shredder Puzzle, Island Girl, and they were recognizing everybody, and they were just like, "Hey, can we get a picture?" And sometimes the language barrier was a little tough, but we would made it work. I had this cute couple that. I knew exactly the minute when it happened, where I was sitting there talking to somebody or like kind of hanging out with somebody. I looked around, and they were looking around. They looked at me, and you thought they had a heart attack. They were just like, "Oh my God, who is this?" And so I moved everybody around. I went up to them and introduced myself, and like you would have thought, these guys like won the lottery or something. They made me feel like amazing, and it was super cool. I had a chance to meet them. I gave them a hug and said thank you so much for supporting us, and they were just so grateful. And I practiced the bowing of the head. They were just, oh man, it was super cool to get a chance to meet these people, this family, and man, it was just a blast. Like I said, it's so cool to see the amount of support that has been going on over the past few years, and to be able to see it, through the community where the game originated at. Oh man, it was a blessing. So, but getting back to the rest of it. The actual event was really nice. I got to give a shout out to CompToUs. They obviously had the esports arena set up in such a way where you got the main floor to sit down and watch it. But for the influencers, since we had so many people there and like some plus ones, like the families, the wives doing there, they had a section set aside that was basically there for the influencers. So we got a chance to kind of hang out at a specific floor. Basically, they had like a big screen set up to watch the essentially the RTA gameplay, and we got a chance to kind of relax and just kind of hang out. And so again, we had different influencers from across the world. We had Germany, French, everybody was representing there. Just so many influencers that got a chance to make it out, and it was super cool because we all got a chance to connect and do some social networking, and it was just simply a blast there. So the event basically took about 6 hours. We all hanged out there, watched the event, got a chance to see BD take down Llama for the finals for the World Arena Championships. And after that, we all got a chance to basically head out. We did like a little after party, got a meal in, got a chance to connect with all the players and whatnot. And it was super cool. Again, just being able to get a chance to connect with everyone, it was simply amazing. One thing that I want to leave at the end of this thing is something that I know the community is really going to be excited about because this is not something that you see a lot with different other video gaming communities out there. When it comes to CompToUs, we've all shared our opinion about what they have done on the back end to really connect with the community, connect with the influencers in order to make this game, bigger and better than ever. And one of the things that, if you guys may have saw on my Twitch page, essentially I basically it was almost like the highlight of the trip, where the CompToUs two of the members, head developers from the CompToUs team in Korea, they actually set aside some time to answer questions from the players, from the influencers. Everybody was at the after party there, and after there was a couple of questions, thrown out, they actually set aside even more time, even after the time to like kind of hang out and get the questions answered as a group. They actually stepped to the side later on that night, and I kid you not, all of the we had some global players, we had some Europe players, we had about 12 people essentially in a circle around with the two developers talking for a good 30 to 45 minutes on the future of the game, what things we could do to improve it. And I'll tell you this right now, as a person that's been playing video games for my whole life, but for the whole YouTube thing, and being able to see some of these companies and see them change over time, there's nothing more exciting than to see the amount of impact, or the amount of I don't want to say basically just to see the opportunity for a player to have a chance to essentially make it different in order to make the game go better. These are the players that have been supporting the game for the longest time. They are super passionate about it, and it means the world to us when we have that opportunity to speak with developers like, hey, you know what? I love what you do, but we can always I think there's just a couple of things you can do to improve. And believe it or not, they were very, very open-minded. They took everything. They were really asking questions back to try to figure out, hey, well, do you like this? Do you like that? And one of the biggest things that we talked about was the team-based PvP format. The Goat Arena Battle is super cool. One of the things that was really enjoyable this time around for the SWC 2018. And I really do think that there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up in the future that's going to be revolved around some team-based stuff that I'm really going to be looking forward to, because again, that might be the spark that the game needs to provide a little bit more competitiveness, a little bit more variety to the game. And so if it goes down, I mean, just without a doubt, it's just going to be super epic. I can't wait for that to happen. I hope that it happens. So again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in to the Twitch stream, to the YouTube. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, I definitely encourage you to check out the VOD. It was a lot of great footage on both ends here. Just to kind of give you an idea of what's coming up for me, I'm going to definitely be making some content around the different event. I essentially sat around during the event and essentially made notes on all the different topics with regards to the tournament and things that I want to make for the videos. We're definitely going to be doing more educate and dominate videos on those topics. We'll be bringing on players that competed alongside just players that have been in the G2, G3 community that have been really connected with the RTA format. Bringing them on, sharing their opinion on it. So it's going to be pretty exciting to check that out. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for your support. And I want to give a big shout out to ComToUs and OGN. On behalf of all the influencers, thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to represent such an amazing company that has been super supportive over the past 4 years. And thank you for being, again, open-minded to all the constructive criticism that we've given along the way to make this game as good as it has been. And of course, when it comes to the future, I know it's just going to continue to grow, and I cannot wait to see what the future brings for us. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Childish for ChildishPlays checking out. Take care, and we'll see you all in a couple days when I head back to the States.